Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11, the Thunder Bay Folk Society hosted the second annual Folk Festival at the Alpena Antique and Steam Engine Showground. Plus, locals held their first ever tricycle marathon to help raise childhood cancer awareness. And Habitat for Humanity Northeast Michigan celebrates 25 years of helping the community. We'll have those stories plus your local weather and sports. The news that affects you starts now.
From Rogers City to Tawas City and all points in between, this is Northeast Michigan's award-winning news team. We are your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Neil Liwanag. Over the weekend, the Thunder Bay Folk Society hosted the second annual Folk Festival at the Alpena Antique Tractor and Steam Engine Showground. Musicians from around the country took the stage to provide great entertainment for the public. In addition to great music, the two-day event also featured instrument workshops, vendors, and various children activities. Last year's event was a success, and the Thunder Bay Folk Society understood the city's need for a music festival just like this one.
Some friends of mine are also musicians. I'm in a band, and we go to a lot of music festivals throughout the summer, and we just thought to ourselves, why doesn't Alpena have a great music festival like this? And so the four of us decided we should get something going.
To support the Thunder Bay Folk Society, visit the website on your screen. September Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and people in the community hosted the first ever tricycle marathon to help raise awareness for children affected by cancer. Held by event organizer Kelly Hunter, folks from the Alpena area got together in gold shirts to support local families affected by the disease. Gold is the official color of childhood cancer. The free event consisted of children riding their bikes around town, and attendees were then treated with good food afterwards at the pavilion. Hunter's son Paxton was diagnosed with cancer back in July. Ever since then, she has made a commitment to lend a hand to families affected by the childhood cancer.
I didn't know what this even was until it happened to us, and I'd like people to know the warning signs, and I'd like to raise some money to other foundations to help find a better cure, because there's a lot of harsh side effects and treatment can be very difficult for children going through cancer.
If you'd like to help with the movement, please visit kickcancermovement.com. Yesterday, Alpena celebrated its first annual book festival in the downtown area. Numerous authors from all over the state gathered for children activities, panel discussions, and informal conversations throughout the downtown area. Visitors paid an entry fee to participate in the festival, and proceeds will go towards several reading programs in the city. Olivet Books, Blue Phoenix Books, Art in the Loft, and the library teamed up to make this event possible in order to promote literacy and help the community be more aware of the several resources Alpena offers.
Well, we wanted to do three things. We wanted to support Reed, that was our big one, and then we wanted to get people downtown and get them to see all the wonderful stores that are downtown, and then we just want to connect readers and authors and books so that they all get together.
Today's event gave away over 300 books to the public, and the community looks forward for a possibility of another book festival next year. Well, I hope you got to enjoy the great outdoors and take advantage of our area's many trails in celebration of Michigan Trails Week. In observation of the week-long campaign, the Friends of Rockport hosted several events at the Rockport State Recreation Area, such as a historical tour and a bike safari. The day started off with a hike as locals got a chance to learn how to use GPS devices to locate some of the most popular geocaches at Rockport. Michigan Trails Week is a great way to appreciate some of our local signature trails.
I think it's important to the community for people to get out and walk around a little bit, and there's a little more to our area than just driving up and down 23. This old quarry here, even people that come out to Rockport don't really realize this is sitting here.
Friends of Rockport are already anticipating for next year's Michigan Trails Week, and for more information, visit their Facebook page by searching Friends of Rockport. In Harrisville, the Chosen Ranch hosted another public gathering with a fall fellowship event to update the community on their mission of helping children in need. The house is currently running strong and had more than 1,500 volunteers assisting in building and making the place ready for house parents and their guardianship of 2 boys to move right in. The Fall Fellowship event included some horseback riding, children games, activities, and a graduation ceremony for the boys' summer program. Locals also got a chance to tour the house and received a demonstration by the Alcona Fire Department. This free event gave the Chosen Ranch the opportunity to present what their program offers.
There's some misinformation out there about why we're here and what we're doing here. So we're as open and honest as we can be with people, so we open up the door and invite folks in. If they ever have any questions about what we're doing, our encouragement to them is go to our website, grab a phone number, call us, or come to an event like this where you can actually meet the people involved, see the property, and see what's happening.
If you would like to know more about the Chosen Ranch, please visit chosenranch.org or call the number on your screen. Habitat for Humanity Northeast Michigan held a banquet at the Aplex last night to celebrate their 25th anniversary. Habitat for Humanity has built, rehabbed, and repaired more than 80 homes in the area over the last 25 years. Senator Jim Stamas came out to support and honor the organization's accomplishment, and all the proceeds from the event went to our local communities. The 25th anniversary proved to be a crowning achievement for Habitat for Humanity, as they have helped hundreds of local families in Alcona, Alpena, and Presqu'Île.
We live in such a great place because things like this tonight, but really the homes that we built and the lives that we change can only happen through the volunteers and through people who are willing to give.
If you would like to volunteer or donate, you can call Habitat for Humanity at 989-354-5555 or visit the website on your screen. Better Living and Massage Center and Spa hosted the 2nd annual Man Up for Manicures fundraiser yesterday. Men from all over the state came to town to get a manicure, and a percentage from the fundraiser will go to the Alpena Regional Medical Center. A couple years ago, Better Living Massage Center and Spa teamed up with ARMC to raise awareness about men's health issues. This idea came about after Better Living owner Rose Nowak wanted to encourage and help men in our community to be more conscious of their health.
Is that there aren't a lot of programs out there really for men's health. We see all kinds of things for women's health, which is great, but we wanted to kind of just tap into men's health a little bit.
To learn more about Man Up for Manicures or help donate to men's health awareness, visit Better Living Massage's website on your screen. Coming up next on WBKB News at 11, Just Do It, and Nike is doing just that. Find out why sales are flying high like Mike. All that and more next. Welcome back. In state news, the Kalamazoo Speedway lit up with hundreds of lanterns, but the first ever Lantern Fest is without controversy.
It says I am, and then I also thank God for all of my blessings.
Pikun Allen, who is originally from Northeast Thailand, says tonight's ceremony reminds her of home.
The whole country goes up in smoke. So yeah, we light the lanterns, we send lit floats down the river, and it's a big celebration for us.
Many families came out excited for the show.
I was looking for some fun, out-of-the-box things for us to do. And I was looking for something that would create magical moments for my kids, and this looked amazing.
I thought this would be really, really cool for her. Just being able to see all of these lanterns lit off just like in the movie.
That would be the movie Tangled, her daughter's favorite. While the scenes out here look like something straight out of the movies, a campaign waged on social media called Lose the Lanterns is worried about what happens next.
People see these and they think that's such a beautiful thing, and they don't realize that there are consequences to these actions, and they do come down, and either they come down as a fire hazard or they come down as potentially harmful litter.
Lantern Fest director Preston Ward says there are 2 teams of lantern chasers that will be responsible for tracking the debris.
We actually follow the lanterns once they go up, and we have guys following them with fire extinguishers and other fire safety precautions, and they make sure that when the lanterns come down that they're cold and that there's no danger.
Ward also says the lanterns are biodegradable, a term the Lose the Lanterns campaign takes issue with due to the time they say it takes for the bamboo to decompose. No matter what side of the issue you're on, there's no debating the beauty of this scene. It's what happens next that has township officials on edge.
In your Money Watch, more people are wearing their yoga pants and athletic wear all day long. This trend is helping drive Nike sales higher. Profits jumped 23% in the past quarter. Nike says its sales in China were a quote amazing, soaring 51%. Binge watching is about to get three-dimensional. Netflix announced a deal with Samsung. You'll soon be able to wear a virtual reality headset to watch everything in Netflix streaming library. The headset costs about $99. And President Obama and the President of China agreed neither country support cyber theft of trade secrets or business information for a competitive advantage. President Obama met with China's president Friday and said the growing cyber threat has to stop. If you're heading to the pump, GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan helped us find the highest and lowest gas prices locally and across the state. The lowest price for gas in Alpena is coming in at $2.37 at Murphy, and the highest is $2.39 at Marathon. Across the state, the lowest price at the pump is $1.96 in Houghton Lake, and the highest price is coming in at $3.09 in Trenton. There's still much more to come on WBKB News at 11. Kyle Logan will be in with the look of sports, and I'll be right back with your full weather forecast. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. It is now time to look at the weather. Today, your high was at 78 and your low was at 48 degrees. Normal was 64 and your low was 43. Record high back in 1979 was 83 and your record low back in 1989 was 25 degrees. Sunrise was at 7:27 a.m. and your sunset was at 7:23 p.m. Your current conditions is 67 degrees right now with a humidity of 75 degrees. And here is your radar. Clouds are creeping right up to the northeast area. And tonight, mostly cloudy with 65 degrees with southwest winds at 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, though, mostly cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms, temperatures in the low 70s. Tomorrow night, showers likely with 55 degrees and southwest winds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. And now a look at our extended weather forecast. Tuesday, cloudy through mid-morning, temperatures in the low 60s. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, mostly sunny with temperatures near the low 60s. And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Catherine Brown of Alpena. This is a photo Catherine took of a large green pepper from her garden. It weighs about 18 ounces and 5 inches. Now, this is a very large pepper that could probably feed a whole family. Thank you, Catherine, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com. In your Health Watch, according to the latest government statistics, 1 in 10 pregnant women in the United States reports drinking alcohol. 3% of those women report binge drinking, defined as 4 or more drinks on one occasion. Drinking alcohol during pregnancy can cause birth defects and increases the risk of miscarriage and prematurity. The North American Menopause Society says its latest studies show the best way to tame hot flashes without hormones is therapy that changes the way women perceive their hot flashes. The study also found medications including Paxil offer mild to moderate relief. What didn't work for hot flashes though? Exercise, yoga, and acupuncture. And most kids prefer apples and apple juice to other kinds of fruit, according to a new survey published in the journal Pediatrics. The study looked at what children like best and in what form. Only about 40% of children meet the recommended guidelines for eating fruit, which is 1 to 2 cups per day. In national news, on the final day of his U.S. visit, Pope Francis confronted one of the most controversial issues facing the church in America. Marley Hall has a story.
Pope Francis held a private, unannounced meeting this morning with 5 people who were sexually abused as children. Later, while speaking to bishops, the Pope promised to hold all sex abusers accountable, and he said, I remain overwhelmed with shame that men entrusted with the tender care of children violated these little ones and caused grievous harm. Barbara Doris is a child sex abuse survivor. She wants Pope Francis to take stronger action against bishops who protected predator priests.
How can he kiss babies and talk to children and, express all these concerns for children and yet do nothing? This guy's a monarch, an absolute monarch. If he says they're gone, they're gone.
Francis also spent time Sunday with prison inmates, embracing one man and encouraging all inmates to get their lives back on track. In central Philadelphia, large crowds spent the day waiting for the Pope's late afternoon Mass, his largest and last public event.
A few seconds of a glimpse is enough to inspire you for a lifetime.
On his way to the Mass, the Pope greeted followers from the Pope-mobile, pausing frequently to kiss children. Hundreds of thousands of people packed the Ben Franklin Parkway and surrounding streets to be part of the Pope's final big event. At the airport, Vice President Joe Biden led the delegation to bid the Pope farewell.
At the airport, Vice President Biden led the delegation that bid the Pope farewell. Sports is coming up next, and Kyle Logan is here with a preview. Kyle?
Neil, tonight in sports, the Tigers were wrapping up their home schedule against the Twins. The PGA Tour made their final rounds. The Lions are in action, and the NASCAR Sprint Cup boys were in Loudon. Also, the Flyers were in action today. Were they able to pick up that first win of the season? To find out, you have to come on back. Sports is next. On Saturday night, the Alpena Flyers played quite possibly their best game of the season. The team led the Traverse City Hounds 3-2 early in the second period, but gave up 4 goals unanswered to pick up their 4th loss of the season. Move ahead to Sunday, a new day, a new opponent, and another chance for Eric Peterson and staff to get their first win of the season. The Rhinos of Kalkaska in town. These two meet for the 3rd time this season. Moved to the 3rd period. Flyers down 4-1, but the offense comes alive. Flyers with the power play. Jared Kwiatkowski passes to Samuel Charbonneau. He finds the back of the net. Flyers trail by 2. Move ahead. Nick Barnyai skating up the ice. He makes a beautiful move to split a couple of defenders. He gets the puck past the goalie, and we have a 1-goal game. Then, wouldn't you know it, Sergei Merlot attempts the shot, bounces off a couple of guys, and Kwiatkowski is there with the putback. This game is tied. Moved to a 5-minute overtime period, and unfortunately, Alpena couldn't carry that momentum over. Robert Sirapak with the open lane. His shot is saved, but Matt Kulo is there to clean it up. The Rhinos' 5th goal of the game, and it was the clincher. Afterwards, the head coach talked about the slow start and where the team is growing.
Pretty much we're just improving right now. It's pretty much our first weekend as a full team. Last weekend we were a little short, but this weekend we've seen lots of progress out there in our forecheck and our D-zone coverage. We just got a few things we got to work on this week. Is just mostly back checking and all the little things.
Flyers are still in search of that ever-important first win of the season, and they will look to get just that on Saturday when they meet the Detroit Fighting Irish. Final home game for the Detroit Tigers, the veteran southpaw Randy Wolf on the mound. 0-4, 6 starts with the Tigers coming in, and it would only get worse. Move to the 2nd inning, the Twins offense heats up. Runners on 1st and 2nd, none out. Kurt Suzuki singles to left. That would score Eduardo Nunez, and the Twins take a 1-0 lead. Next batter, Byron Buxton doubles to deep center field, and Eduardo Escobar scores easily from 2nd to make it 2-0 Minnesota. Next batter, a little bit of a familiar theme is brewing here. Brian Dozier doubles to left field. That clears the bases. The Twins go up 4-0, part of a 6-run inning for them, and that's all that they would need. Tigers' lone highlight comes in the 7th inning. Tyler Collins already standing on 3rd. Josh Wilson up the bat. He doubles to left center field, scoring the only Detroit run in this ball game. The Twins would tack on 1 more in the next half inning, and they win this one 7-1. Afterwards, the skipper spoke about the confidence for next season.
Because of that core group, if they're healthy, and we with obviously Al's leadership, can acquire some players to complement or even take leadership roles. I think the core, because of the core that's here, I think it could be an instant turnaround.
Before everyone can start looking forward to the offseason and the 2016 season, the Tigers do still have 6 games left to play. Detroit will be in Texas Monday night. For the PGA Tour, this weekend was the last hurrah, the famed Tour Championship in East Lake. 30 guys seeking that FedEx Cup trophy, but on Sunday, it came down to the one man who's truly taking over. Going into the final round, the youngster Jordan Spieth was your leader. After missing the cut in the first 2 legs of the playoff, he vowed to come back even stronger, and boy did he. After finishing tied for 13th at the BMW Championship, it was clear he was starting to figure some things out. On Sunday, it was his putting game that saw him through. Countless par saves and this long putt on 11, one of a few birdies on the day that showcased why this young man is simply the best in the world. This par putt on 18 won Spieth the Tour Championship championship and the FedEx Cup overall. This win, the 5th of the season, caps off a marvelous 2014-2015 season at just 22 years old. Now let's see how the leaderboard stacked up behind him. Jordan Spieth, your champion at 9 under. He becomes the youngest player to claim the FedEx Cup title. And oh, by the way, he's once again the #1 player in the world. Justin Rose, Danny Lee, and Henrik Stenson all tied for 2nd at 5 under. And Paul Casey, along with Dustin Johnson and Bubba Watson, tied for 5th at 4 under. The Sprint Cup boys were in Loudon today at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Matt Kenseth came home the victor, and here are your new chase standings. Kenseth, along with the man in 2nd, Denny Hamlin, now the only 2 men that have put themselves into the 2nd round. Carl Edwards and Joey Logano both 10 points back in 3rd and 4th, and rounding out the top 5 is Jimmy Johnson, 16 points back. Next week, the boys are in Dover, and afterwards, the field will be cut to just 12. Being Sunday, we eventually have to get to the National Football League. The Lions were selected for the nightcap opposite the Denver Broncos this week. The Denver Broncos went into the first half with a 14-6 lead after Peyton Manning found Demaryius Thomas with just 5 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Manning and Stafford had an interception apiece, and Joique Bell boasted the only Lions touchdown. Early 3rd quarter, Stafford found Amir Abdullah for Detroit's 2nd score of the game, and currently the game is in the 4th quarter, and the Denver Broncos lead this one 17-12. Detroit is still in search of that first win of the season. So, Neil, certainly big things upcoming for Detroit the rest of this ball game. They've got a few minutes left, only down 5. So certainly if Matt Stafford and that offense can get some things going, Jim Caldwell will really appreciate that first win of the season. Now 3 games in, an 0-3 start would really just kind of be bad for this team.
Well, hopefully Detroit gets that first win, Kyle. So thank you.
Certainly.
Coming up next on WBKB News at 11, find out what the 7-year-old kid from Massachusetts did when he found $8,000. Find out next. Welcome back. Well, Kyle, what would you do if you found $8,000 lying around? Some would think about keeping it, but a 7-year-old kid, Aiden Wright from Salem, Massachusetts, who did found $8,000, did the right thing.
You found $8,000?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen $8,000?
I just did today.
Asked him if he missed anything, if he got robbed, and then he fished his pocket immediately. And he said, I missed $8,000.
I ran up the slide, and at the top I looked in the corner, and there was like this black checkbook, and I opened it up, and I saw $8,000 in it, and then I brought it down to my uncle.
Took it back to my truck, and I counted it out, and it was $8,000.
He was so happy that he gave me this.
Being called a hero, you know that? Yeah. What do you think about that?
Cool.
He's been taught from day one how to do the right thing, and this just shows that the lessons have been learned, and I'm so proud.
What is the golden rule, Aiden? Golden rule.
Treat other people the way you want to be treated.
Good for the kid to do something like that. You know, it's hard to find something, and it's very tempting when you have $8,000 and then you give it back to someone to people who own it.
No, I think certainly, I mean, you can, I certainly attest to, there's many people in this world that would certainly keep that money and probably spend it all very quickly. So a really kind of courageous young act by that young man to want to give that money back or to find its original owner. I know if I was in that same position, it would be very tough to want to give it back or not, or to at least save it and keep it for a rainy day.
So next time I see a quarter on the floor, I'm going to think about and give it to the owner. Definitely.
That's a good decision. And remember, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
Or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV.
Well, that will do it for tonight's show. Wake up with Erica Fernandez tomorrow morning at 6:30. Good night, everybody.